going to go ahead, it is 6 o'clock, and call this meeting to order. And just as a reminder, this is a called meeting. We don't normally do the pledge and the prayer and all that for a called meeting. So we're just going to go ahead and start with a roll call. Ms. Phillips.
Vice Mayor Dale,
Present.
Alderman Elder, Alderman Langford,
Here.
Alderman Linder,
Here.
Alderman Proctor,
Here.
Alderman Rudel,
Here.
all present except Alderman Elder.
Okay, next on the agenda, do we have anyone here for public comments? Okay, moving along. We're going to go ahead and go with item number 1, waiting on Mr. Evans to join us. We're going to go on with the second reading of the fiscal year 26-27 budget. And we had a work session, but I'm going to have Joel come back up to the podium just to see if there are some additional questions and maybe go over just any of the general changes from last meeting that might need to be highlighted. Okay.
Okay, in our work session, we identified a few rollovers from beginning or ending balance, fund balance to the beginning balance of the next fiscal year. So I'm going to make a few corrections on those. Does not change the over-under on how much is being spent. It only just clears up the beginning and ending fund balance of each respective year presented on the report or on the budget. Are there any questions?
Just something that I want to go ahead, Parker.
Before we vote on it, I would like to offer something that we can do, because Bill and I were talking over here, and we can't keep raising the property taxes. Even if we raise them, we still come out with, and don't get me wrong, I think the city employees need raises. But I would like to see us form some type, or Laura, you form some type of committee with the department heads and some members of the council to see what we can do to reduce the cost of our existence, to cover where we don't have to raise property taxes. I'd be happy if you would consider that and see what we could do, because it takes a lot of money. And I'm one of those, I got a private pension, and I've been retired a long time, but it has dropped in purchasing power 25%. So everything's higher, and we need to see if we cannot reduce our expenses or increase our revenue. Although we don't control too much of our revenue except property taxes. See if we can find some way to reduce the cost for next year to where we don't have to even consider giving a property tax increase.
And I think that's a great idea. Generally in our departments, I think we did a fairly good job at staying under, and I've been looking at that. But, obviously a budget or a committee to look for ways for saving is a good idea. So a couple of things I did want to point out that we were going to add or that are inside this budget is I am proposing a 5-cent tax increase that was in the revenue. But I handed each of you a piece of paper that kind of showed that if you have the proposed 5-cent increase would be go from 1.1396 to 1.1896. And if your property value is $100,000 for the whole year, your increase amount is $12.50. So, and I would love not to do that too, but like we say, everything that we do right now is a lot more expensive. And even just what we had to increase with our Tennessee Consolidated Retirement this year, an increase of 2.77% is costing the city $72,000 just for that. So, anyway. Additionally, in addition to that, I am asking to return my car to the police fleet and have a vehicle allowance of $750 that would be spread between general and gas and water funds.
I didn't want to ask this, but at $750 for the year or $750 per month?
$750 a month.
Well, my deal is on the property tax. 5% comes out to $79,000. 3% we done is figured in there for the employees' increase. That comes to $77,000. So you're not really gaining no ground. I really think we need to look at the pay scale. I may be wrong on what I'm about to say, but the lady that done that, I think a lot of us was left hanging with unanswered questions, and it just got started. And yes, the employees' needs increases, everything rises every year. But I had some telephone calls. There's people out there that has their neighbors pay their taxes because they can't afford it. I mean, if you take a $16 employee, and I'm not saying everybody needs to work, so don't take this the wrong way. Time you pay your payroll tax and your wages, one employee will cost this city roughly $44,000 to $50,000. Two, if someone quits, let's look at it hard before we replace them or the supervisor says, oh, we need to. Do we really? I mean, that's just my opinion.
And just to let you know, that has happened in some cases that are regarding the general fund this year. By attrition, there have been a couple of spots that we have not refilled this year, so.
Thank the Lord. Employee cost is usually not where the most of the cost is. It's in your materials and utilities, whatever. So I think we need to look hard at the other things other than just consider, Bill, it's a good suggestion what you said, but I mean, the bulk of our budget, at least 50% of it, is other than salaries.
I disagree. If you watch your material and labor, you'll print money.
That's what I just said, material.
But you didn't say labor.
I didn't say labor, but I said employee cost. And that is labor, I think, Bill.
The payroll is a large piece of the pie as well, for sure.
Like that.
The payroll just in general fund is $2,700,000 this year. What was going to budget?
Just one clarification, I believe, Bill, you mentioned the 5% increase, it's technically a 4.4. It's a 5-cent increase, think that's what you're thinking of, it's calculates to 4.4%.
That's out of a budget of $809 million. So you're running 50/50, let's say, between the labor cost and the material cost.
Any other questions for Joel?
I do want to say one more, and then I'm done. Looking at this budget, last year's budget, you guys did do a good job. I will say that. It's improved.
Good.
Good work.
Thank you.
We try to be conservative and try to be spot on at the same time.
He's done a good job on this.
Okay, anything else for Joel? Okay. Well, I will entertain a motion. Regarding the budget.
Motion to approve the budget.
We have a motion on the table for Alderman Bell for approval of the 26-27 budget. Do I have a second?
Did somebody second? I'm sorry, my hearing.
Not yet.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second by Alderman Proctor. Any further discussion?
First of all, I think the mayor needs to keep her car. You probably do more traveling and important traveling than any employee that we've got in the city. And if $10,000 is going to make a difference or something, we'll buy you a new car instead of park yours. Then number two, I'm getting phone calls that, you know, I know everything costs more this year than it did last year, but it also costs the taxpayer. I had a 93-year-old lady call me and said, you know, are you gonna put more on me? And, you know, what do you tell them? So, I mean, I can probably make it, but somehow or another, I think the city just needs to suck it up and go with what they got. I'm gonna vote no.
Okay, Bill.
Can I ask Andre a question?
Sure.
I read something this week, scrolling through as I do in Tennessee law and all. And I read a paragraph where people can, after they reach age 65, can get their property taxes frozen, excuse me, at a certain income level.
I'm not familiar with that, but
Would you check that out for me?
we can look into that.
Because that would take care of a lot of our problems, if that is true. I don't know. I may have misread it, but I'd appreciate it.
I'll make a note and look into it and let you all know.
Okay, Ms. Phyllis, let's do a roll call, please.
Alderman Langford,
No.
Alderman Render,
No.
Alderman Proctor,
Yes.
Alderman Rubel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dale,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay. One more thing on the agenda, we have a resolution. I'm going to try to call Ray Evans and just put him on speaker because we're having difficulties connecting, so. put you on speaker, okay? All right, thanks. All right. Okay. Can you hear us, Ray?
I can.
Okay. You're on for the resolution 2026-6-1.
You're on for the resolution 2026-6-1.
Hey, Ray, I think your computer is on, if you want to just turn that off.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
So the resolution that you have before you is a resolution to allow the mayor to enter into contract with Thompson Enterprises, Jamestown, to perform the site prep services for the City Industrial Park lot on Tennessee Avenue. We were very fortunate, let me back up. So recall that this is a project that is funded primarily by a grant from the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development through their site development grant program. And we were very fortunate to have received 12 bids on the 18th of May. All but one were below our consulting engineer's estimate. And Thompson Enterprises of Jamestown was the low of those 12 at $475,000. We were delighted by that number. The mayor and I have vetted this company. We checked their references. We had a good interview with the owner of the company, and we feel comfortable that they are qualified to do the work that's required, and we would recommend that the board of Mayor and Alderman approve the resolution as proposed.
This isn't a matching grant?
It is a matching grant. It's a I think it's a 90-10. Could be, it's either 90-10 or an 80-20, but the vast majority of the funds are provided by the state.
And after the $475,000, that's going to leave $525 for what?
Well, so that's a discussion we'll have with the state. We have some reason to believe. Let me back up again. At sort of the last moment before we bid this project, we got a little bit cautious, and because of the bids that we've seen recently and the cost of construction, we removed a few elements from the project. We were going to extend water and sewer from Tennessee Avenue up to the pad itself. And this is for 100,000 square foot industrial building pad and about 100 or so parking spaces as well, but just grading and drainage only. We removed those items, and we also reduced the amount of what I would call maintenance on the project as well. And we believe that once this is awarded, that the state is going to allow us to expand this contract to add those items back in, as long as we stay under the grant limit.
That makes sense.
How much did he say the grant was for?
$1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
And it's either a 10% or a 20% match.
I think it's 10.
It's 10, so it cost us $100,000.
Correct.
Where's the $100,000 come from?
Well, we do have some funding in the industrial development fund that we were going to look into using for this.
And let me remind the board that you all approved the application of this grant and time ago.
So this pad would be available to someone to purchase and build it on?
That's correct.
So
Right,
if and when it sells, we'll get our money back?
correct, yeah.
Do we have is there a potential buyer for it?
Not yet, we're constantly getting, information from companies that might want to locate here.
Is this just for the pad, or is this for a building?
This is for the pad.
Just for
This
the
is just
pad?
to do, get it ready for. a
Get it
building.
ready for
Correct.
somebody to come in and put their own building up?
That's correct, yeah. Any more questions? Okay.
What's our cost
$100,000.
on this? How much?
100,000.
Well, 10% of whatever the monies that are
Yeah.
used on it, yeah.
I just couldn't hear.
Yeah, yeah.
And you say there's money out there?
Yes.
I know you don't know the exact amount, but are that the most of it, a little bit, or what money's out there?
For the industrial development, from the industrial development.
Of this $100,000, we gotta come up, how much of it you think we've got?
More than that. Yeah, yeah. We've got plenty in the industrial development fund to cover that.
To
Because
cover
it might not
that.
end up being 100,000 if the project doesn't end up using all the million. So it'll be 10% of whatever we use.
Right, but
So,
we'll give,
but up to
but we
that,
can,
so.
we can cover
Oh,
100,000.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay? All right, hey, Ray. I'll let you on for just a second, I'm gonna steal your mic. So, okay, so we have a motion by Alderman Linder to accept Resolution 2026-6-1 and have a second by Alderman Rubel. Let's take a roll call, please.
Alderman Linder,
Yes.
Alderman Proctor,
Yes.
Alderman Rubel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dale,
Yes.
Alderman Langford,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, so motion passes. Ray, thanks for presenting.
Sorry for the confusion with the Zoom call.
No problem. Thank you. Sit back on there. Okay. The only other thing that I want to mention is we will have, we'll need to have a call meeting on June 29th to go over some budget amendments. And I think that's all else I wanted to say. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Let's see, beat you to it. So,
Second.
motion made by Alderman Linder to adjourn, second. Second by Alderman Dale, all in favor? Motion passes, meeting adjourned.
Yes, that was nice.
Better wear